Movies, television, books, music, games, comics. Pop culture is one of the things that makes life worth living, and pop culture can be a window into your soul. Welcome to Blew My Mind, a forum for Shrink Tank contributors to share and discuss their own personal, mind-blowing pop culture experiences. I'm your host, Dr. Craig Pohlman. I'm a neurodevelopmental psychologist, Trekkie, and Yoda disciple. I'm joined by two guests. Dr. Rachel Kitson.
Hey.
Rachel is a psychologist, writer, artist, speaker, champion distance runner, and mom to Leo, her cute as the Dickens baby boy.
Aww.
Thanks for being here.
Shout out to Leo. Thank you.
Dr. Dave Verhaagen. Woohoo! Dave is a psychologist, author, speaker, podcaster, Comic-Con panelist, Southeast Psych co-founder, empty nester, and the best magician I know.
How many magicians do you know, Craig?
Somewhere between 1 and 1,000.
All right. Well, I'm in good company then.
Yes, there you go. Shakespeare opined that brevity is the soul of wit. We're going to put that to the test and talk about mind-blowing movie lines that could not be any briefer. Just a single word. I'm going to kick things off with the first word you hear in one of the most famous movies ever made. This is Citizen Kane, which came out in 1941. Very famous movie, directed by Orson Welles. A lot of people think this is the best movie ever made. I can make an argument for that. And, since this movie was made like last century, I think the statute of limitations on spoilers is out, so I can reveal a few things here. It tells the story of Charles Foster Kane, who it was based on William Randolph Hearst, and he's a very powerful, rich man. And in the very beginning of the movie, it kind of pans through his estate, and it's all broken down. It's in shambles. This is black and white. It's gorgeous cinematography. And it zooms in on this dying man in this huge mansion, and this snow globe is in his hands, and it rolls out of his fingers, and he utters the word, Rosebud. And one of the things I love about this line is, to me, it's the ultimate MacGuffin. Because this line becomes the mystery. And this other character embarks on this whole movie to find out what is the meaning of the word rosebud. Have you all seen Citizen Kane?
I actually saw it when I was in college. I took a film class my freshman year of college.
So it was just released, right?
You're right, John. It was a sneak preview. And I'd heard that this was supposed to be a great movie, and it totally blew my mind. The whole movie did. I mean, it held up as much as I'd ever hoped that it would. It was a great movie.
For me, this is one of those movies that I ashamedly has been on my should-watch list for forever. It's like one of those movies that everyone says, this is the best movie, you have to see it. And I'm like, I should see it, haven't seen it.
Well,
should see it still.
When you see it, it's got to be on your bucket list of movies.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's going to strike you, though, is it's going to seem very familiar because so many techniques have been borrowed by other filmmakers. There have been homages left and right over the years, but Orson Welles was such a genius that he came up with these ideas on his own. It's amazing, and it's not a thriller or a mystery in the conventional sense that there are car chases and shootings, but it's very suspenseful. And I guess I'm going to hold on to the ultimate spoiler of what Rosebud means, because when you finally learn at the very end, it's really cool.
So probably a lot of things have gone over my head since I haven't gotten the references made when they're paying homage to this movie. Correct?
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to Rachel. What do you have for us?
Okay, so my one-worder is
inconceivable
from The Princess Bride. And this the scene in this movie is when the pirates have kidnapped Wesley, and the giant just has noticed that Wesley has scaled a cliff, I believe. Is that the scene?
I think he's a Dread Pirate Roberts.
Oh, Pirate. Okay. And it's just the banter between these two pirates is just hilarious. The reason why this movie this line in particular is really, I chose it was because this is one of those movies that I would stay home sick from school and I would watch. And so it has a lot of nostalgia for me.
Kind of like The Boy. You sick?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I think my dad thought it was a very appropriate movie to watch. And it's one of those lines where when you're a kid and you're kind of transitioning from maybe kid humor to like more adult humor, and I was starting to develop that awareness of like things can be funny on different levels, and it was funny on a kid level because of the way that he says it and he delivers the line, and also becomes funny on a more adult level. Plus, it's a big word, and so you look at the word up right away and you understand what it means, and then you start using it in your own vocabulary. So just poignant in a number of ways. Nostalgia, kind of that transition of understanding humor in movies, and it's just an awesome movie. Like I would try to find a one-worder in there regardless.
This is my wife's favorite movie. She loves this movie, and we love it together. This is a line we say a lot to each other, but it is not just a great one-word line, but a fantastic movie. It's a movie that, when it was first released, didn't get the love that it deserved and has since become a cult classic or really a favorite of many people. So it's a solidly great movie.
And I'll tell you, I've got 3 sons, and last year, when my oldest 2 they would have been 12 and 9, my wife and I played it for them, and we knew this was going to happen. We got the exact same reaction that the kid gives at the beginning of like, oh, this is stupid. It's a kissing movie. And then just like the boy, Fred Savage plays that boy, they got hooked by it. I mean, by the end, they just loved the movie. And
it's based on a book, too. I think it's one of those movies that actually maybe the movie might be better than the book.
Well, William Goldman, I believe, wrote the book. All right.
Yeah, William Goldman, who's a great screenwriter. He wrote Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He's won some Oscars. I mean, he's a really great screenwriter, and this is probably one of his best works ever.
So, inconceivable, awesome one-word line that's really easy to say. And Dave, I believe you have another great, fun one-word line to say.
My favorite one-word line of all of movies is from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Ben Stein says, Bueller.
So great.
It's actually a repeat of the same word. So if we're being technical about it, he says Bueller 4 times, and this is when he's taking the class roll, and it's when the school finds out that Ferris has taken the day off. But what I love about this line is not only is it just part of the lexicon of pop culture now, but it is showing how you can take one word and deliver it in such a way that it is like comic genius. It's comic gold.
Yeah.
Ben Stein's delivery is perfect. The whole scene, the setup is perfect. It's just it's a perfect one-word line in my view.
Fantastic. And it really has broken into pop culture. People say it all the time. It takes the place of, is this mic on? If you're telling a joke and you're not getting anywhere with it, Bueller.
Right. Or if you're doing a presentation and you're not getting anything from your crowd, it's like
I have resorted to doing that.
Yeah, I love it.
So Rosebud, Inconceivable, Bueller, very different movies, but all one-word lines that are said multiple times over the course of the movie, and all really fun to say. I think Bueller and Inconceivable are more fun than Rosebud. But Rosebud, if you're knowledgeable, you could drop it into conversation now and then.
Yeah, what would be a context to drop Rosebud?
I think, anytime somebody's dying, which wouldn't be fun. Or there's a mystery. There's going to be, you're searching for something. So, cool. All right, let's wrap things up here. Our audio engineer and editor is Sean Beck. His work is, in a word, exemplary.
And inconceivable.
Thanks to my guests, Dr. Rachel Kitson and Dr. Dave Verhaagen. We all write multi-word articles for Shrink Tank. Be sure to check out all of the content, including videos, quizzes, and surveys on our website. Shrinktank.com is the place for all of your psychology and pop culture needs. Until next time, I'm Craig Pohlman, and this is Blew My Mind.
Shrinktank.com